That was only part one.
That was part one.
Oh my god. That took 40 minutes.
Well, okay, that one had more interruptions than any of the other ones, though. It's God's favorite line right here.
God is crying.
God sheds tears.
I actually am.
God can only handle so much literature club.
Is that what this is?
What, literature club?
This is a
literature club.
Oh, I didn't know that. New day arrives. Siri arrives in the clubroom earlier than usual. That is not late. She enters and appears to be empty still. So she sits down at the desk and pulls out sheets of paper primed to jot down her thoughts. Siri has made a habit of scribbling her thoughts and feelings onto paper whenever possible, as it tends to serve as the best inspiration for poetry. Wow, that was such a useful piece of word there. Thanks.
My heart feels like a bacon because the ship sailed away.
Yo.
Yo. Yeah! Yeah! Natsuki, my
Oh,
sugar!
the music picked it up.
Not Natsuki.
And Suki pokes her head out from behind the closet door.
Sorry, didn't mean to scare you. But it would have been a lot more awkward if I didn't say anything. I know you won't be listening down to your poetry thing. Yeah. Thanks for realizing that. Shall I let you finish that up then? Are you gonna eat that?
There's still meat on them bones.
Oh no, I wasn't. I mean, I just do it whenever it's a little convenient. You're not interrupting.
Anyways,
Alright,
John Denver.
did I say this?
sure.
Where's Monica, by the way? Oh, she's out in the hallway. Huh? Why? Well, just in case she runs into Yuri. Sometimes Yuri is too nervous to come into the clubroom by herself, so... Oh. Jeez, does Yuri really let things bother her that long? She can't control her feelings. For some people, it's really hard to cope Jesus. When you get a bad thought in your head, you can distract yourself for a little while, but as soon as it's just you and your thoughts again, it comes back.
I don't like what I almost said there. NGH, they kind of, if you pronounce each one of those, right?
Yeah, I see
You
it.
get what I'm saying?
Anyways, I just want us to have a normal club meeting. It's a lot easier to pretend like it never happened if we all just ignore it and move on. I don't want to be bothered by this. It's so stupid. Repenting to me doesn't matter anyway. Besides, it makes me feel really guilty, and I hate that too. It's okay to have feelings.
No,
It
it's
doesn't-
not.
It doesn't make you weak. God
I am
says-
God, and
God
you
says
listen to me.
differently.
It's not okay.
But don't listen to God. Let's figure this out together. Fine.
There's too much togetherness.
Only because you're good at this stuff. Let's try to come up with a happy scene.
Is that right? Was it scene?
Yeah.
That's kind of weird for me. Anyways,
Maybe that will help us understand where your bad feelings are coming from. Well, I was happy with the way things worked before we had the conversation yesterday. What part of the conversation made
Why do you have to
upset?
laugh before?
It gets me in the right voice.
Right.
Was it Yuri being mean about the manga? Maybe, I doubt it though.
okay. The thing is, the voice I'm going with Natsuki's like, "What's up, dude? How's it going?" You know, that kind of thing.
Sure.
And Sayori laughs a lot,
Yeah.
so that's kind of why. But
No,
that
I
helps.
know why. It's just like.
I get the Natsuki one's a bit worse off, I think. Anyways,
Because my friends and other people make fun of manga all the time, but I just brush it off and ignore it. But something about it really got to me this time, and I hate that I'm letting that happen. Is it because it came from Yuri? No. Why would that matter? I mean, well, maybe where water comes from. I just hate that she thinks that she's so much better than me just because she likes to pretend to be all sophisticated. Yeah, that's what it is. At least other people decide that they don't like me for manga or whatever. But Yuri acts like she's too good to even give it a chance. I'm sorry. Everyone deserves a chance. Yeah, exactly. Would you give Yuri's book a chance? Ha! And what she did, obviously not. What about before this? Well, I would until I got bored, which wouldn't take very long. But if you actually keep an open mind, it's not hard to realize that a story can be deep and meaningful without being needlessly complicated. I see. But you know, I like Yuri's books. Yeah, but you like manga more, right? I like them both. I like them in different ways, but I like them both. I mean, the manga, it's really honest and fun and easy to just let go with. And the fantasy has a lot to interpret and uncover. And it's really rewarding and, to have some good quiet time together with it. But the most important thing is that both of the manga and the fantasy are true to themselves. So I love them both.
Oh my god.
You get it? She's relating them to the characters themselves.
Yeah, it's just the whole true to themselves. Oh my god. Jeez.
God does not like hippies.
God does not like feelings.
I'm an unfeeling god.
And I think there's room for us and I think there's room for both of them to be in the same club together. A literature club, if you will. And I just feel like maybe they have more in common than you would think.
Oh.
How do you get along with everyone so well? I was getting in fights with people. Like, first it was with Monica when I was new to the club, and then it was with you, and now it's Yuri.
And later it's Nicky Pingus.
And then Yuri again.
And I got a feeling it's gonna happen again. And I'm always like, oh, that person is being such a jerk. And if they just realize that, then we can get along at least. But nobody else has that problem. I just keep running away from the reality that everybody is just a jerk to me because nobody likes me. And I don't know why. I don't know what to do about it. I don't know what's wrong with me. I hate it. Natsuki!
So he puts a comforting comforting hand on Natsuki's shoulder.
You're a wonderful person. You deserve to be loved as much as everyone else. Everyone has different ways they like to communicate, you know, and sometimes that makes it harder for us to understand each other. I think that sometimes we get lucky and we make friends who are really good at the same kinds of communication, and it feels like you magically connect with them. But other times, even if both people are really nice, it's easy for them to misunderstand each other, or to get the communication wrong. Something that Yuri struggles with a lot too. It can be really hard. It takes a lot of, like, reflection, and self-awareness, and vulnerability, and reflection. I'm bad at that one. Vulnerability, not reflection. Great at that. I always have to be the strongest. What do you mean? Tell me about that part of you. Well, Water, it sounds stupid, but I'm really used to people being mean to me. Like my friends, and I guess my dad. Like, where I don't get good grades, or even stupid things like when my room isn't clean. So what am I gonna do? Cry about it? If I let myself do that, it's just letting them win. I'm better than that. I'm better than all of them. So things always have to be everyone else's fault. Feels like if something goes wrong, and there's even a tiny hint that it might be my fault, then I just get really angry. I find ways to blame everything else instead. Do you see yourself as better than Yuri? If I said that, then I would just sound really full of myself. No! Our thoughts and our feelings are two different things. Even if we don't like our feelings, we have to understand them. If we want to learn more about themselves. That's a part of vulnerability, you know? Accepting that we have feelings that we don't like. I hate that. My feelings make me a bad person, because my feelings just want to tell me that I'm so much better than her. That she's a judgmental know-it-all. Well, I was going to say something else. Who's stuck in her edgy phase, and then I'm just way above that garbage. But I'm terrible for feeling that way. You're not terrible. You are not your feelings. But you are not your feelings. Say that to yourself out loud. Fine. I'm not my feelings. The way that I like to picture it is that these feelings are like your roommate. You live in the same house, and you get to see each other every day. And even if you can ignore each other most of the time, you're going to run into each other every now and then. And it's going to make you feel like poop. So the other option is to get to know each other. You can communicate and learn from each other, maybe even help each other change for the better. Does that help you understand? How do you know so much about this stuff? I just have a roommate that can be really hard to get along with, called depression. Depression?
Makes her want to die.
What the hell is that? But you're like the happiest person I know. I know my feelings.
Let's talk.
I want to be a good person like you. Oh, you little sweetheart. We're all good people. You and Yuri and Monica. And I think that Yuri will eventually learn that about you.
And Nicky Pingus.
No.
That too.
Natsuki remains silent, feeling a little overwhelmed despite Suri's kind reassurance. A complicated mixture of pain and sadness seems to fill her as though flowing through a wound inside her. Was it a result of her vulnerability? No, it wasn't. It wasn't as though she inflicted a wound after becoming vulnerable. It was as long as she discovered an old wound, she can't be bandaged and left alone any longer. Is that it?
Sewing on the scene, Nicholas.
Oh, you're right. Oh, here it is.
Yuri, what are you doing all the way over here? I was looking for you. Please don't yell at me. Oh, I'm not going to yell at you. I just wanted to say that I'm sorry about what happened yesterday. It was unfair for me to put everyone on the spot like that. Next time I won't try and jump in and solve everyone's problems. I guess it's a bad habit of mine. You're not mad at me? I thought you were the one mad at me. I was so awful yesterday.
Your curls up.
I can't even have a normal conversation without saying something wrong and making everyone upset. Hold on, that's not what happened at all. Let's talk about this, okay?
It's
Yuri
like
pauses.
sauce. let's talk about it, right? Isn't that his thing?
Yeah.
Maybe.
No, that's GMM. Let's talk about that.
GMM.
Good Mythical Morning?
Oh yeah, I haven't watched that since middle school.
Oh, I watched it like every day. Still. Well, I can take a seat next to her on the staircase.
I'm having a lot of negative thought patterns and I can't get away from them. What kinds of negative thought patterns?
What is it?
Like everyone hates me. Especially Natsuki. Oh, that's terrible. I don't think Natsuki hates you. How do you know? Well, because.
Monica thinks back to the time when she found her altercation with Natsuki. Our display of maturity from Monica was enough for Natsuki to reevaluate her own feelings as well.
I think Natsuki is just naturally defensive. I think she acts mean when she really feels the need to protect herself. But you know, she's not really a bad person. In fact, I think she could really be thoughtful and considerate. She just, well, I guess the way it works is that she wants to receive some degree of kindness first before she feels comfortable returning it. Oh, but I guess that means the burden's on me. I don't know how to say things to make people like me. Every time I open my mouth, I just...
Oh, Yuri shakes.
It's okay. It's okay, Yuri. Just don't beat yourself up. I don't think anyone would like you if they had... Or, whoa, wait, I misread that.
I don't think anyone would like you.
Opposite of that. Well, unfortunately, the opposite is true. That's why... That's why I'm not talkative anymore in the first place. Because everyone used to think I was weird and talk about me behind my back. It just happens when I draw attention to myself. Natsuki even said she found it more respectable when people speak their mind, so I did, and she hated me anyway. That was enough to confirm my fears. But Sayori and I like you, and we've gotten to know you a lot by now, right?
Yuri doesn't seem to have a response. Someone say something.
Hey, what do you think of Natsuki? I don't think about her.
Oh, that seems pretty defensive.
That's not what I meant, really. I just... I was wondering if you had an opinion of her. I do. What is it? Natsuki seems to bring out the worst in me, and I feel really ashamed of it. I like to think of myself as a fairly sophisticated person, so for someone to just treat me like I'm inferior, despite my tastes, that's just the worst kind of insult, coming from someone like her. And it makes me think bad things about her. But everyone seems to like her, so the only explanation is it's me who's doing something wrong again, and my feelings about her are wrong. And I'm wrong to get upset over something so childish and inconsequential. No, Yuri. Feelings are never wrong.
No, okay.
Ever. well, they're not right. That's the thing. Feelings are never right or wrong, you know?
They're not your feelings.
They're a state of being we don't always have control over. But that doesn't mean they can have to control over us. Have to control us.
You think they have Mountain Dew in there?
I doubt it.
Look at what's in there.
Juice.
Well, they got we know they got apple juice.
Probably some weird
know
fish.
They do have apple juice.
Squid juice.
But none of these look like that. Looks like freaking Voss water. Or
Yeah.
whatever.
Some Gatorade.
Some weird black label. That seems weird to me. But yeah, that looks like some kind of juice. This all looks like water of some sort, like lemonade. That looks like lemonade and or lemon juice and lime juice bottles, you know.
Pine Sol.
Pine Sol.
We can hate ourselves for feeling a certain way about things, or we can, just acknowledge that they exist and try to understand them better. I can never be mad at you for feeling a certain way. It's about how you handle them. And I think working through feelings is a great opportunity for teamwork.
Yuri wears expression.
You make it sound so easy. You're so mature. And so good with people. I feel like such a child in comparison. Oh, Yuri. I'm far from perfect. Thanks, God. But these are learned skills. They didn't come naturally to me either. It's really hard to, reflect on yourself and separate feelings from your thoughts. I just want to be a good person. Well, I think it takes a good person to get this far. That's not good enough. I want to be able to communicate it to her. Communicate what? How I feel. How it makes me so frustrated, or feel frustrated and upset when she's negative and dismissive of the things that mean so much to me. And how it reminds me of something. Because I know what it's like to feel misunderstood and angry at everyone. I know that telling yourself you're better than everyone else is a defense mechanism. We're just people. We're fragile and unstable. I'm just tired of it getting in the way. I can't stand it when the peace is disturbed like this. Yeah, you can't just focus on your reading when the peace is disturbed, right? Because
Oh.
Aw, Nicholas.
the literature club something.
Monica looks at Yuri in adoration.
I feel like Sayori might be rubbing off on me, because I really want to hug you now.
Oh, wait.
Sorry. I didn't mean to make you feel uncomfortable. No, well, if you wanted to, I wouldn't really mind, so...
Monica pulls Yuri.
Careful there. You're gonna make
I just took a drink of water.
You're gonna make him choke.
You're so gentle. And I love when you communicate your feelings. I feel so lucky to see that side of you. I'm sure Natsuki will too.
Oh, now we have to deal with them talking to each other.
I'm going to write her a letter. Oh, a letter? What a great idea. Just because I'm not good at talking, especially under pressure. I always let my feelings get the best of me, and I forget to say all the important things, and say things I don't mean. Well, I think a letter would be wonderful. Such a nice way to communicate.
More of an F guy myself. Yuri's face hardens.
People don't naturally gravitate towards me like they do for you and Sayori. My personality just isn't suited for that. And I wouldn't want it to be. But something I've learned is that friendships don't always just magically appear out of thin air. For instance, I would have never seen myself making friends with someone like Sayori. We're opposite in a lot of ways. But I'm friends with her because she put so much effort into understanding me so that we can get along. I think it was the same with you. You both gave me a lot of time and patience. I wonder if she feels the same way. Natsuki?
She nods.
I always thought if I wanted to make more friends, I had to be somebody that I'm not.
I just think, when I see him nodding, I feel like I don't have to say anything, even though I know.
Nicholas.
I know.
That there's a type of person or magical formula I have to be in order to make someone like me. And that's just like me to think that. Always so occupied with myself that I fail to understand other people.
Yuri shakes.
Friendship happens when you think about the other person. When you offer time and effort to understand them, respect them, and trust that. Something.
You're a good person.
Yeah. That's what I
Thank you,
learned through
John.
my observations in the literature club. Observations?
Monika's caught by surprise. Yuri always kept to himself so much that it's unusual to hear her suddenly talking about the club like this. Yuri gently smiles to herself.
You always let me listen to your thoughts about people. Sayori too. And it makes me happy because I learn a lot of things. That's so sweet. I had no idea it meant so much to you.
Monika never thought much of it, but in the past weeks, Yuri always seemed to be especially attentive when it came to the problems and concerns of others. Always wanting to listen and learn more about friends in the club.
In the club.
Friends in the club.
It's true, Yuri and Monika are naturally more comfortable with each other, more comfortable with other people, and can more easily work through situations of conflict. Doesn't make them better people. Everyone has strengths and weaknesses and the capacity to improve. First step towards improving oneself is reflection and self-awareness.
Reflection.
Something that Yuri never gave herself enough credit for, but that Monika can recognize as an incredible trait. With that, her confidence in the club is restored.
Confidence restored.
A very shy girl with long, pretty hair is wandering with the Boston.
Boston lunchtime hallways.
Her fist pressed into her collarbone. When she finds the literature club president's Monika's classroom, she stands at the door, glancing all around her before peering inside. Monika is sitting and chatting with a group of unknown friends. Yeah, as expected. This was a bad idea after all. Suddenly, Monika glances toward the door, making the girl panic and duck out of sight. Before she can regain composure and decide to leave for sure, the classroom door gently opens.
Yuri? What a surprise to see you during lunch.
Yuri squeaks a response.
Please help me. What? Is everything okay?
Yuri shakes her head.
I don't know. I don't know how to write letters. Thank goodness. I thought there was some kind of emergency.
Monika briefly glances over her shoulder at her other friend.
Do you want some help? We can go find an empty classroom or something. Is that okay? I feel bad about taking you away from your friends. That's totally fine. I promise. We weren't really doing anything. One sec.
Monika trots back into her classroom, says something like, I gotta go, to her friends, and grabs a pen off her desk before returning to Yuri.
Okay, let's find somewhere quiet.
Yuri nods and follows Monika as the two of them set off.
How are you today? Huh? Me? Well, yes. Oh gosh, I was just totally caught off guard. I'm doing well today, just tired. I never seem to get enough sleep during the week. How come? Oh, I don't know. I think I'm easily distracted. I get really sucked into things and start neglecting the time.
Like the VM.
You're not supposed to know about that yet.
Me too. I do that too.
Knowledge.
God is cursed with knowledge. Hey, this classroom's empty. Let's go in here.
After peering inside, Monika opens the classroom door in front of the two of them enter. Yuri's moment of relaxation ends. She watches as Monika pulls two chairs up to the same desk.
camera just for when stuff like that happens.
Now obeys as Monika beckons her to take a seat. Stares down at the empty desk.
You nervous? I don't want to do this. We don't have to. We can come up with something else.
Like a scavenger hunt. Yuri shakes her head.
A scavenger hunt. Wow.
I think God's out of it right now.
God's got
tired.
something
I'm so
interesting
done
to
with
do.
this game.
You got 3 more.
It's my chance to do something good. I need to take initiative. Gosh, you must really be determined. I know how hard it is to step out of your comfort zone. I'll be sure to
Good
encourage
name
you.
for a furniture store.
Yuri pushes through her anxiety and grabs a handful of lined paper from her notebook, then she picks up her pen.
Oh, alright.
Oh, a scene.
Hey, you're left-handed. That's neat.
Neato!
Yeah. Now I don't have to worry about bumping your arm.
Monika playfully rubs her shoulder against Yuri's.
Sorry, I'm just being silly, I guess. Anyway, how
What
do
a silly thing to do, Monika. You silly goose.
how about we start by listing the different things you want to say to her?
Your things.
I feel embarrassed all of a sudden. Oh, it's okay. How about some of the things you said to me yesterday? But never mind, I guess I'll try.
Yuri thinks for a moment longer, the tension evident. Then she writes reflection.
Reflection. This is about my reflection on our behavior. The key question is why we act like this towards each other, but have been able to separately be friends with Sayori and Monika. That's me. Yes, it is. So,
You think?
I've been able to befriend the two of you because you've taken time to understand my needs and respect my interests. Same goes for Natsuki, too. We started off pretty hostile towards each other because I was so worried about getting what I wanted. But then she just wanted to be respected more than anything else. Once I stopped making it all about me, she was able to do the same. I want to do that too. So what kinds of things do you want to do for her? I want to do the same things for her that I like to receive.
That is worded on.
Yes, God. I like it when people respond positively to the things I talk about, not just brush me off. I like it when my feelings are taken seriously. And I like when you and Sayori trust that I want to be a good person, even when I'm not doing a good job at it. Let's write those things down. Okay.
You're right, slow them down.
I think the most important thing to remember here is that Natsuki is feeling vulnerable, so we should make sure that the letter puts her first. It's hard when you're feeling hurt, but it never helps just to tell someone all the things that they're doing wrong. I think first you have to make sure that they know you're ready to respect them and listen to them, and admit the things that you feel you could do better. And then finally, ask what you would like in return.
Ask not what you can do for you, or what your country can do for you.
How does that sound for the structure? It could be 3 paragraphs, one for each of those points. Like those essays we would write in middle school. I like that.
Damn.
My thoughts are so disorganized. I had no idea how to come up with any kind of structure. You're so amazing at these things. Oh, stop. You've done so much more than I have, you know? You spend so much time reflecting and being open-minded. Reflecting? That's the hardest thing for anyone to do. All I'm doing is help you put it on a piece of paper. So I think you're the amazing one.
Monica gives Yuri's hand a quick squeeze. Thank you.
I give my own hand a quick squeeze.
She's caught by surprise when Yuri curls her fingers to hook Monica's hand in place. For a while they sit like that in silence, and you have the occasional scratching of Yuri's pen against the paper. Some smooches.
It's really weird to write. Like...
Yesterday you told me something I've been thinking about a lot. What was that? The thing about how feelings aren't right or wrong, that they're just a state of being that we need to come to terms with. It made me think about how a person's behavior isn't always just how they decide to be. It's also made up of their past experiences and their insecurities. I think that helps me see other people as actual people, rather than as insignificant side characters who are out to get me somehow. Is that how you feel about Natsuki?
She nods.
But in reality, everyone is just trying their best, and everyone wants to be happy.
Monica peers at the paper, but to her surprise, Yuri pulls it in closer, partially covering it with her arm.
I have to be able to read it to help out, you know. It's okay. My thoughts are a lot more organized now after being able to talk to you about it. Now that I'm actually putting it on paper, I realize I prefer others not to be able to read it.
She laughs to herself for her expression.
I'm kind of glad to hear that, actually. I somehow keep finding ways to butt into this whole thing. I've done enough damage. But it's... God chuckles.
God utters a hearty sneeze.
But it's also been so wonderful talking about this. I mean, I always thought you were really smart, but...
She smiles.
I'll always be terrible at these things. People are just so incomprehensible to me. I'll never get the hang of being one. But listening to you so much has really helped me make sense of these things. Just don't call it damage, please.
Monica gives Yuri a gentle smile. Talk.
I can't believe I came to this club looking for fantasy geeks, and all I got were real friends who value me. Is that a joke? Of course it is. I still can't tell with you. Sorry. No, I love it. Please never change.
Or do. It's fine.
As you wish. God.
Damn.
She glances at clock.
We're almost out of time. Will you be able to finish?
This game will never finish.
By the end of the day, probably. But I don't want it to come to the. I don't want to come to the club the same day that Natsuki reads it. I'm too shy. I can give it to her instead if you'd like.
Yuri nods.
As long as you promise not to read it. Of course I promise.
She'll read it.
Thank you.
Your ex has the two stand up.
I'll message you when it's ready.
Knock nods.
Good luck. I'm here if you need me.
Cool beans.
Daijobu.
What?
Daijobu.
That's one of the names of the songs.
Oh.
Also, it means okay. Daijobu. Hi.
God cringes. Yuri returns the nod and the two depart.
God does not.
Oh, is that it?
God does not approve of me.
Do you remember on the Viking playground there's that like weird thing and there's a face on it? It's like blue.
No,
That's what Sayori's face looks like.
I've got no clue.
I'll take a picture of
All
it
I'm thinking
sometime
about
and
is
I'll send it to you.
You ever
so
seen,
you can
you
put
ever
it in
seen
the
that
video.
clown meat?
Clown meat?
Let me look up clown
I was
meat.
gonna say, also on the TV, it's like more washed out, so you can't see them. You can see their nose even less than you
Yeah.
normally can.
Yeah, it's clown meat.
Oh, actually, I think I have seen
Yeah,
it.
clown meat. Wait, I mean on the I don't know why it does that.
It was weird.
I mean, it's not a big deal.
No, it's not a big deal. It's
Yeah,
just
okay.
I mean, is everything not showing up right? Like the PlayStation when it's plugged in? That's what I mean. That's what
I mean, it seems normal, but
that's. I mean, it's not like it's that far of a different, but like it's enough that the jackets are definitely brown on the TV.
They're kind of like a brown gray sort of thing.